Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noob. Today I have returning with me, Bianca.
It is I.
And we continue our bit of a Thanos ongoing, which this being a bit of a minor trilogy. This was the pre-annihilation Thanos stories that Jim Starlin had told. What started with the Infinity Abyss, Marvel the End, and now into what is known as Thanos Epiphany, which would be a 6-issue arc of what was supposed to be an ongoing series until Starlin left after the 6th issue for various creative differences. And eventually the second 6 issues would be Keith Giffen setting up the Annihilation event. Because this one actually would be something that we would see utilize stuff that would take place in upcoming graphic novels. But yeah,
Okay.
it opens up, and basically this is set after Marvel the End, of course, and Thanos is actually still alive. And I gotta say, I still love Starlin's artwork. Just look at this, right?
I want to have that on my wall, but
Oh
I want
yeah.
it to glow in the dark.
Thank you, Adam Warlock. I've come across many of those exotic beasts on my journeys through the space sector, Thanos. They're beautiful creatures. Hold on. Just a second. Okay. But basically, like, you feared I would kill it. An errorist assumption? No. I loathe being interrupted when I'm in the depths of contemplation. Even former allies are not welcome. What matters and do you dwell on, Titan? That which was and what will be. Warlock, have you ever killed a world? Destroyed a reality once, but never a world. Well, I have. This planet, to be precise, or rather, to be completely accurate, one of my doppelgangers did with the aid of the monstrous Magog, referencing stuff from the Thor book. But still,
Wait,
what?
isn't what's the difference between? Isn't the universe bigger than the world?
Yeah. But he said a
Yeah. Okay.
reality, but never a world directly. So it's basically less personable when you take out the reality.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Back to reality.
Whoop, there goes reality. But behold, Rigel 3. Once the homeworld of the Rigelian colonizers, they had something I desired, and so more than 5 million Rigelians died. The planet was so badly damaged in the struggle that Rigelians abandoned it and established new Rigel 3. And you were here because I've always been a monster, Adam Warlock. This I've accepted, even taken pride in. You cannot conceive of the misery I have left in my wake. Can we get a bit of a summary about his whole existence? Everything, his upbringing, all that stuff. Him and his family. He's the odd man out.
That's family. What the heck?
And there's Star Fox.
They're
Arrows.
brothers.
Yeah, they were always brothers. He became as because he had a part of the deviant gene in him. Deviants, that were those people that the Eternals fight after.
Okay.
That's why he gained it.
Good to know.
Yep. And eventually we see that. Oh, look at that creepy smile on Death.
Her eyes look weird too.
Mm-hmm. But of course, yeah, it goes throughout so much of what he's done when he attacked the planet and his mother died during his attack. Now, the one woman he wishes he would have spared. And then we go about all this time when he fought for, omnipotence, everything for death, and eventually to protect himself. And then the heart of the universe. See, referencing Marvel the End. And yeah, basically then, like, I faded to mere memory. Or so I had hoped the universe would assume. But your soul gem must have locked into my spirit and tracked me here. Yes, I was always aware of your continued existence. Had no idea you were hiding. Not hiding as much as reconstituting. With my waning divine might, I restored my shattered armada and granted myself a number of other life-assuring wishes. Then I came here to contemplate the next act in my play I call my life. A character change? Yes, I gained omnipotence and found it wanting, Adam Warlock. My priorities require reevaluation. I finally concluded that external validation would never quiet the fires that rage within my soul. Only by becoming the terms with my own personal demons might I ever achieve any type of inner tranquility. So he does becoming a new order. So he then heads out to New Rigel 3, and A question for you, Warlock. Yes? Do you believe in redemption? Yes? Then so do I. Now notice we see these black squares as some eyes are opening. And you see you see these eyes?
Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Bottom, at the bottom. I think.
This looks like me when I wake up.
Eventually, then, like, only unmanned drones. Only you, Titan. Congratulations. You're clearly a person one does not easily forgive or kill easily. The Rigelians have apparently forgotten that. I wouldn't take it personal. Take it personally. At ground troops, recall my position on useless slaughter, Titan. Worry not for the cannon fodder, worry not for the cannon fodder, my conscience. I have the situation completely under control. And cease fire! I surrender! Stay out of the way, Thanos. Stay out of the way, Warlock. Surrender, people of Rigel 3. In the past, I have perpetrated heinous crimes against your world and population. I have come to realize the error of these dreadful acts. In the long run, they gain me nothing. As a matter of fact, they actually cost me dearly. Each death blackens further in an already ebony soul. But I come not to you for the seeking forgiveness, or my misdeeds are truly unforgivable. Millions of Rigelians died, and reclothing the new Rigel 3 must surely have been a harrowing experience. A trial that continues to this day, I wager. So it begins! My hope is that I might make it easier, your lot. Thanos the Titans come to make amends. How may I serve you? Thanos, perhaps we should have discussed this matter before coming planetside. Ah! So what do you think about this opening that he wants to seek redemption?
So fast.
Well, yeah, but after everything he went through.
Yeah, it's understandable.
By the way, the Rigelians are the guys who created the recorder droids.
The recorder droids.
Yeah, you see those in a lot of other stories.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, basically they're scanning him, trying to determine he's the real deal. They agree. This one's going to be a shorter one, as we see, like all of Adam Warlock's history built up. We start showing off on that. All of a sudden, there's a bit of a coup going on. And basically they're blaming their leader for what had happened, and they want to kill Thanos. They want to crush him in this box that he's in. And they try to fight off Adam Warlock, but he puts up a good fight against them.
Nice.
Like, if I allowed my and your weaponry could easily subdue me if I allow myself to be targeting, but your martial skills leave much to be desired.
Hey.
Oh, look at that! Isn't that awesome?
Oh, I love sequences like this.
Yeah, where it's all circling. Amazing. These are the elites of our armed forces. Then a bit of advice is in order if you plan of staying in the colonization business. A higher grade of soldiers should be acquired. Now we best hurry if we wish to save those guarding Thanos. But yeah, they soon find it turned out he escaped and everything. Thanos, escape was impossible without a bit of widow making. Those cretins planned on reducing me to the size of a grape. No innocents died this day. Since then, I have been busy analyzing new Rigel's current geopolitical status and have devised several means to improve your situation, such as overcoming the genetic problem that was limiting Rigel 3's beta soy production. A mere adding of a couple of rungs in the plant's genetic ladder. That's the central data bank. Impossible access without the proper clearance. I've already built a new safeguard to better secure the system security. Look at that smile! As for your planetary teleportation defense, it will now come in online in half the time previously requested and required. Registry thanks you, Titan. But first, another pressing matter requires my attention. All right, in a single act, I shall guarantee the loyalty of your armed forces and improve the quality of your gene pool. All right, this one. No, what? Of course, you now have to select a new general. Thanos, have you ever encountered a problem that didn't require a lethal solution? Not many. Well, if you wish you wish your change of heart to be taken seriously, you might want to consider tallying up less of a body count. Yes, I will give your suggestion some thought after I've dealt with the Rigel 3 situation. Actually, it's the Rigel 18 that is desperate need of your largest, but their difficulties may be more than you wish to get involved with. Thanos has pledged the aid the Rigelians in any way I can. Excellent. And basically, they sent him there. As it turns out, what you face here is not a serious problem, but rather a major catastrophe. As Galactus is there.
Oh man, it's that thing from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What, this thing here? Or
The
that?
Thunderdome.
No. And
The Technodrome is what I meant to say.
For Galactus, the Bob War is not known for lingering over a meal. Mere weeks passed, and a snap of my fingers would have handily dispatched Galactus. But currently, my personal power is Lilliputian compared to his might. Then there's nothing you do to aid us? I did not say that.
Man, he should have brought Squirrel Girl.
But yeah, basically, like, Galactus will have to die.
What does Galactus do all day?
Consumes worlds and keeps the balance of the universe.
Does he ever sit down, eat, take a dump?
Galactus taking a dump. That's always been a joke on things.
Really? Does it take a bath?
To Galactus, the devourer world, it sometimes seemed that status has been his lot in life from the start. From both his first and second births, only half remembered our distant parents from a reality long dead. But alone is vividly recalled, ingesting the scientific wonders that were planet Ta's heritage and treasure. Hold on a second.
I've always realized it makes him look like he's wearing a skirt.
Basically, we get a summary of his origin, which was he was from another universe, actually made it through to this universe, and eventually was reborn as Galactus.
Oh. Huh.
Yep. And eventually then he became a devourer of world that he cannot satiate his hunger.
So, have some coffee or maybe some chamomile tea.
Also, we find out that and as long as the predator did not close his eyes, only then has he confronted by the accusing gaze of billions of dead eyes. So the stress-relieving balm of sleep was inevitably abandoned, but this mattered little. So in other words, he hadn't slept in ages.
I mean, I can understand that. It kind of sucks that you have to eat worlds for a living. Like, what if he eats all worlds? Is he still going to go hungry? It will never happen. Lies.
Greetings, mighty Galactus. Who? Thanos of Titan. Please forgive the serpent's great devourer of worlds. Moondragon.
Eee.
There's the recorder.
Oh.
Hold on. Titan, as I recall, you recently did mischief with some Purlon DNA of mine, an admittedly terrible error on my part, and nothing that should acquiesce our current encounter. I propose that we meet on a prearranged mental plane. You need only blink your eye to join me. Indeed, you have nothing to fear from me, Galactus. Cretan Galactus fears nothing. I Do not let the similarity of our size put you off, my friend. I thought this touch would greatly facilitate our communication. What have we to discuss? Matters of great import. A telepathic summit allows you to better consider the truthfulness of my word and assures your continued existence. Truth and caution are not necessarily opposing motivations. Accepted. And so let us get directly to the point. What exactly do you want, Titan? I have recalled aligning myself and recently aligned myself with Rigelian colonizers whose planet you currently reside above, and that inform your friends that their world is doomed. Have I not already allowed them enough time to flee? That was most graciously, and that you most graciously have done. A highly kind and unusual gesture for you, but I cannot help but notice that clearly you are, and that clearly you are currently well nourished, and your array is not set up for consumption. What exactly do you plan for Rigel 18? I see you find this question unsettling. I did not mean to disturb, but curiosity has always been a weakness of mine. Titan, you would dare question my actions? No disrespect intended, Grand Galactus. You may not have heard, but Humboldt has changed his ways. I have become a force for good. I inquire into your affairs only to ascertain if I may be of some assistance. Though my cosmic wisdom must not, and be nothing when compared to your own. And then he starts to do his own mind thing to read into Galactus' mind and kind of become one with me, devourer of worlds. Let me know your secrets. Yikes.
Abuse.
Tentacles. Very hentai. You were thinking
coming out of his nose.
You were thinking the hentai, weren't you?
Was I?
Damnation! You sought to seduce and violate me, Titan! For this event, you must die! Die! Gone. Naturally, the Titan would not be that easy to kill. But it is plain to see, even though Thanos has not yet gleaned the totality of my scheme, he still knows too much to continue his life. Galactus was ready for us. I figured someone in the past had to have tried a psychic defense against him. Yes, Galactus exhibited telepathic skills never before in the evidence, which makes you a liability. Did you catch all that, Grand Commissioner? Fortunately, the failed effort bought us the time to complete the planet's evacuations. The possibility exists that Galactus might track me down via you and your psychic nature. But Thanos, I can still prove useful to you. I might. Hey! The matter is not open to debate. Thank you for your assistance. Goodbye. Dismissing Moondragon in such a curt fashion may make it more difficult you to obtain her service when next needed. That might be true if the annoying woman had any kind of actual life, Warlock. She heedlessly jumps at any chance to be involved in celestial manners. I love that smile of his, don't you?
I do. It's so funny that Adam Warlock said that when he did the same thing to her.
Yep. Besides which, Moondragon's role in my scheme was strictly diversionary. She is no longer necessary. Our victory can only be gained through Galactus' own archives and data. Access to these treasures is only possible if this teleporting degenerate completed his assignment. Not to worry. I planted all the bugs exactly where you wanted them aboard Galactus' ship. Has Pip the Troll ever let you down? Down on numerous occasions. But if this proves to be an exception, you will be paid your case of addiction in due course. Bullion hand-rolled as agreed. Now be quiet while I ascertain whether you perform your duties properly. What? Galactus has activated his array. Whatever Galactus' plots has come to fruition. The Titan's intrusion has made time my enemy. I must act without delay. Let the retrieval begin. He does a big, huge thing. His thing, some very serious science at work here. Galactus has tapped into Rigel 18's volcanic core, releasing and directing undefinable energies to its hovering parabolic transmitter. There, the energies are being converted into I know not what. Fascinating. The transformation appears to be complete. Transmission commencing directly into the heart of Rigel 18's sun. The energies are radically altering the star's structural integrity. Its mass increased dramatically. Galactus is causing it to go nova. The time has come for us to quickly depart this solar system. My enemy has proven true to his word. He warned that Rigel 18 was a doom world. But what Galactus neglected to mention was the exact extent of the carnage he had in mind, as he's taken out an entire solar system. But for what purpose? Not for nourishment, for the sheer pleasure of destruction? Not in his character. Madness? Unlikely. Now, what is this? Galactus has transported himself into the very core of the exploding star. He is after something. But what? Computer commenced a full spectrum scan of star 1867 and C. There it is. An interdimensional apparition is materializing within the heart of with the dying star's heart, and Galactus is heading right to it. Is the devourer of worlds departing a reality for greener pastures? Alas, such good fortune is not to be had. He has stopped just outside the dimensional portal. This is actually tying into prior stuff, with the Infinity Gems actually tying into when Marvel had bought up the Malibu universe. And for a brief time, utilized some of the characters, one of which had the Infinity Stone. And that is exactly what Galactus is pulling through it. And that's supposed to be the character, just a skeleton, so to avoid copyright. The paying the creator some of his some of it, whatever royalties he's owned for the character. But yeah, he wanted one of the Infinity Stones. My task was to save Roger 18, but my foe moved too quickly for me to thwart his plan. I have failed. Don't let it get you down, big guy. You saved a lot of Brigalian lives. Besides, everybody strikes out occasionally. Thanos is not everybody. I know not how to accept defeat with any sort of grace. This affair is yet to be concluded. You're correct, Titan. Galactus has to. You're aware of me, aren't you? Can you hear me? You can. Very interesting and most unexpected. Never happened before. Maybe I should kill you. But there's no fun in that. It's not every day that such an unusual opportunity presents itself. Let's talk.
Is he talking about us?
Yes, he's talking to us.
Oh, listen, you Jack in the Box.
His name is Hunger.
Listen, you Jack in the Box Hunger.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Hunger. I have no idea how you became aware of my presence. Like Galactus, I usually lead a very solitary existence. You see, I stumbled upon your reality some time back, quite by accident, and have been carefully studying it ever since. I'm proud to say that I now speak 106 of your languages. I like this one the best. I have a talent for language and have admittedly too much time in my hand. That's because my main task in life is watching and watching. Oh, yes, and as many of you have surmised, I do a little plotting on the side. Let me tell you all about it, but where should I begin? How about am I becoming aware of you? I was just lounging around, savoring the aftermath of an exceptionally fine meal, when I first noticed your actuality. A very unique energy burst in what did it. Is what did it. You probably referred to the incident as the Infinity Gauntlet Affair. The joining of the 6 Infinity Gems created an energy harmonic that, to me, was quite an irresistible aroma. Imagine freshly baked cookies cooling. As mouth-watering as the experience was, it was proved to be frustratingly brief. I now knew your reality was out there somewhere, but could not pinpoint its location. So I sat back and did what I did best. I waited. I knew eventually I'd be gifted with further clues. Sure enough, my patience paid off. Another power-hungry fool united the Infinity Gems. It was as if your reality sent me an engraved invitation to dinner. That's the Magus, Adam Warlock's dark side. And basically explains how all of this caught his attention, and he soon realized parallel dimensions that could pass through the way you walk from one room to another. Unfortunately, spherical realities require an entrance being created on both sides for him to make passage. So we started to manipulate Galactus ever so subtly to have him think that what he's about to do could cure him of his hunger with the Infinity Stones or Infinity Gems. And basically, he wants to stop his hunger. He always has, but he won't. So, and basically, eventually now he feels like he wants to come over and continue to consume this reality.
Not my reality.
Yep.
I'll beat him up.
How's it going, big guy? Progressing nicely. I have finally managed to decipher the language Galactus utilizes in his files. It is a dead tongue from the planet named Ta. Never heard of the place. I seriously doubt that any in this reality besides Galactus have knowledge of Ta. But what I can't figure, Thanos, is why you're bothering with those files. After all, Rigel 18 is now ancient history. That does not negate the fact that I promised to protect it. that I vowed to aid the Rigelians in any matter I could, and that Galactus remains within the boundaries of their empire and plots unknown schemes. I would know his intentions. Sure, you ain't just looking for a fight because you didn't stop cuz from barbecuing in Rigel 18. The last thing I desire is any confrontation with Galactus. But such a conflict may prove unavoidable, so I must know everything there is about my potential foe. Knowledge is power. And I'm off to a certain bar in Galaxian Minor. There's a Belvian fire dart contest happening there. An event like and that always brings out the cuties. You will remain here, troll. I may have further need of your unique teleportational skills. I don't recall signing up to be your personal transit system. The alternative is staying is my dissecting you in order to determine why your teleportational abilities are completely undetectable. Now go bother Warlock or that talkative recorder the Rigelian sent along to archive our endeavors. I desire silence in which to concentrate. There are secrets within these files that need revealing. So he's still trying to figure it out. Project Redemption. What is it you so uncharacteristically desire to save, Galactus? Let's see. Subfiles, energy vibratory patterns, retrieving signatures. Here. Project goals, and by the stars, Galactus. According to this, Galactus has discovered a substitute for the energies he's harvesting from living planets. He is seriously trying to terminate his role as devourer of worlds. Never would have imagined. And I was seeking to thwart his plans. No longer is resurrection a possibility for me. Yeah, that doesn't last long. But how does Galactus plan to circumvent his ghastly appetite? Perhaps the answer will be retrieved and be found in the retrieval file. Retrieving a substitute. Here it is. What? Galactus is collecting infinity gems, but not to gain godhood. He hopes to feed on them with the aid of a machine he has constructed. But why bother with a device? With the joined gems, he could just will his hunger away. Something is terribly amiss. Computer, pull up my vibratory energy files on the infinity gems and compare it with Galactus. Just as I suspected, the files are different. Someone's altered his files.
I bet it was you, Robert. You altered his files.
No, it was hunger.
Okay.
Uh-oh, they're being attacked by Punishers. Not that Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Computer, report. Multiple hull breaches. Force field containment activated. Nature of hull breaches. Never mind. I love when Thanos is being comedic like that. Like, nature of hull breaches. Never mind. Yet another question. Why has Galactus sent his cyborg thralls after me? Yes, they are very powerful and quick and merciless, but against me, they are nothing. This is a futile effort on Galactus' part, which means this is a diversion. The Infinity Gem. Warlock! Because Warlock has the soul gem in his forehead.
Oh.
I thought their enemies' files would be interesting read. Hey, me too, but I only checked out the She-Hulk's files. But yeah, they're attacked and pummeled until eventually they took the soul gem. And they're teleported away. It builds to a critical mass. A self-destruction procedure. Planning to take us out with it. Pip, immediately transport Warlock to Rendezvous 7. I will soon depart this doomed craft. But first, there are certain items to be collected in order for us to carry on battle. Observation, you're forgetting about. Poor recorder. Starboard sector destroyed. I have no more than 30 seconds before the main fuel storage ignites. It's time enough to summon a replacement vessel and gather the data and programs I will need. The intensity of this affair reached outright hostility earlier than I anticipated. A serious miscalculation on my part. Galactus is by far the most dangerous opponent I have ever faced, but the Devourer is also erred. When battling Thanos, wounding him is not an option. Galactus should have killed me.
I'm liking these square portals.
Where have you been? Hopping all over the galaxy. Can you remember which was Rendezvous 7? I suppose this should be expected when dealing with the mentally challenged. Warlock, completely out of it since he lost his gem. Anything we can do for him, other than retrieve his soul gem? No. Which will be doubly difficult without his assistance. But I have also had the talent for dealing with situations for whatever resources were at hand, no matter how meager. You're talking about me, ain't you? Yes. I suspect the entire universe is in dire peril, and now, thanks to your tardiness, there is no time to mount a rescue force between the two of us. So the fate of the universe rests in my hand and your four-fingered paws. Us rescue the universe from Galactus? No. That's a relief, I think. No, our real foe is the unknown element manipulating Galactus. So it is back to Rigel 8 for us, troll. So yeah, like, so small. But within this gem lies redemption. Soon there will be the end of my travels. No longer will I have to bear such a dark burden. A new existence awaits me. And yes, she has all the gems now. What shall I become remains a mystery. It is always so when one awakens from a nightmare, but the confusion will pass. Now is the time for a celebration. Let the feast begin. Yes, indeed.
So is it Galactus's hunger?
No. Hunger is a separate being.
Oh, okay. Then his name is dumb. I'm just kidding.
No, it's basically he's like Galactus, but on a universal scale.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you stupid thing. There we go. Welcome to the world of oversized furniture. This is not the moment for juvenile humor, troll. We have little time to waste, and our situation is quite dire. Only you and I can prevent what I fear is about to occur. You know where I wish to charge it. You know where I wish to charge its place. Get about your assigned task. While you use this massive craft sensor to locate its master. Guess that'll save on some shoe leather. What's the plan for it from there, Thanos? Under normal circumstances, I would notably be able to negotiate with Galactus, warn him off from the perilous course he has charted. Unfortunately, I suspect his power of reason has been compromised. If this indeed is the case, the power will be dealt with in a most extreme manner, which is why you must hasten in your labors. Go! And well, you just keep your fingers off the detonation button until you hear I'm done planting your bombs. Troll, I consider you a valuable asset and would not waste you needlessly. That's barely reassuring. Didn't know you cared. And so basically, the machine's starting to work until who dares? Only one who wishes to save you from a disastrous blunder. I beg you to shut down this device. The Titan. I should have eliminated you earlier, an error I shall now rectify. So much for reasoning. But in truth, I always knew this matter should have to be settled the hard way. Ow!
My gosh.
Full alert! Immediately locate and destroy Sounds of Titan. I have no illusion that my assault has managed to accomplish anything more than enraging Galactus, which means I only have seconds in which to act. The crux must be neutralized before I can activate. Too late! Galactus knows his punishers are teleporting onto the scene. They proved no threat when last Galactus deployed them against me. This the Devourer knows well, which means the sole purpose is to delay. Precisely. Activate all shields and defense shielding. Very impressive, Titan. Never before have I had to exert myself in order to pierce a mere force field. Admirable technology, but a second blast will. Galactus, stay your hand. I beseech you to hear my words. Speak. Your data has been tampered with. The results you expect will not occur. An outside agency conspires against you and our universe. You need only carefully examine your files to verify my claim. The road to travel leads to perdition, not redemption. There are interdimensional components to the crux that have been concealed from you. Re-examine your own fightings. Titan, your guile and deceptive tongue are infamous throughout the galaxy. How many have died because of your lies and dark ways? No, it is different this time. Indeed it is. What kind of fool do you take for Galactus to be? This time you shall be denied the infinity gems and supremacy over the universe. This time they shall be used for the benefit of all reality. No, do not let my past misdeeds blind you to the truth. I fear you are unleashing unbelievable peril. Unbelievable indeed. Titan, in the past, I obviously overestimated you. But now I do see how base you truly are. There is plainly no more than a craven seeker of power, and beneath my contempt. No, wait! Already I have waited too long, dealing with your depleted vital energy. My hunger thunders its demand. And, uh, but no world shall die this day. Never again will I have to darken my soul with, what? I have entry. Thank you, mighty Galactus. What is this? An interdimensional parasite. I've come across him at a distance in my alternate reality researches. Already it's begun to absorb your craft into its being. This and plans to do to our entire reality. Galactus, switch off your crux immediately. I try, but it does not respond to my commands, nor does anything else on the craft. This entity has seized control of my vessel. Galactus, your experience with interdimensional phenomena? Minimal. Will you follow my lead? Without question. Then summon up your vast power and direct them against this shadowy invader. Stand you back, Titan, for I now see clearly my enemy, and I unleash against it the awesome power of Galactus!
Ooh.
Nourishment! Thanos, the creature initially withered before my assault, but quickly adapted and now absorbs my power harmlessly into its being. As expected, Devourer. As expected? Galactus, trust me, your efforts have answered vital questions. Your plight is hopeless, little one, for I am hunger. 1,000 worlds I have coveted, and none have escaped me. I am the hunter, and you are but hapless prey. A boast that needs to be tested, hunger. Pip, charge is planted, and I'm hightailing it. Suggest you do the same, big guy. These bombs of yours could take out half a planet. Do your worst, little Titan. Hunger has seen it all before. Really? You have been keeping an eye on us, have you? You already know that in exactly 2 seconds. Yes, I do. And your pathetic pyrotechnic display changes nothing. Hunger will not be denied. Titan, I have agreed to follow your counsel and have mutually watched my craft's destruction, but this appears to have done little to alter our situation. Your ship's power still reaches the crux. Hunger continues to pour into our reality. Many before you have tried to defy hunger. I have learned and will not be thwarted. Then the crux itself must be my target. Its destruction will cut you off from the bulk of your being. Damnation! This too, hunger is protected with a force field. Galactus! Waste not your final moments in futile efforts, Devourer. Even your vaunted might is nothing compared to a power backed by an entire reality. Yes, this I sense to be true. What have I done? Galactus, you have served up your actuality as dinner. Thank you. Thank you very much. What do you think of Hunger? An interesting villain or stupid?
I feel like he's on the lines of both. It's like, oh hey, how can you do? You wanted to destroy something. He's too easy.
It's his toony design, isn't it?
I actually like his toony design.
Oh, really?
In contrast with everything.
The Titan and Devourer, the circle of annihilation closes around you. Prepare for the afterlife. The vile entity speaks true. We are lost. Not while breath remains to me. Steadfast, Galactus. A plan for salvation? This I must see. And so you shall, Hunger. And like most of your ilk, you focus on the short-term goal, missing the bigger picture. Combat is a series of decisive moves. Each act planned out far ahead of execution. We near the end game, but have not yet reached it. I am truly intrigued, Titan. Proceed. Bring it on. No, Pip. What? The Titan's clutching his thrall. Fasten your seatbelt, High Pocket. The Pip Express is moving out. You've transported us to a ridge miles from the battle. For what purpose? Don't have the details, pal. Thanos just said to get you a good seat for the big finale. And I'm an associate, not a thrall. You have but gained the Devourer temporal stay of execution, Titan. But do not dream I will allow you the same reprieve. From this point on, Hunger, what you wish to allow is irrelevant. For what you think you see is nothing, not always what transpires. In my travels, I have visited a planet called Earth. They have recently coined and highly overused an expression: multitasking. The ship's power has been shut down. This is your doing, Titan, but it will benefit you not. This problem can be easily corrected. But while my right hand sought out the ship's master on its scan, my left arranged a time cutoff of the ship's power. Multitasking. Too bad your troll failed to whisk you away in the confusion. He's taken the soul gem. That was never my plan. I have what I desire. The soul gem from the focusing crux. Destroying you to regain it will require a little effort. True, but you might want to conserve your energy for a far more pressing concern. Do you recall the Rigelian planetary defense system? I used it to transport old Rigel 3 to within this planet's gravitational pull. Things are about to get rather messy. No! Titan, what have you done? Pip, President accounted for, let us be away. Not staying for the big boom? I think not. Especially seeing as how I placed a sizable nuclear arsenal at the old Rigel Street's point of impact. It is set to detonate upon on contact. Boom! But even this devastating force will have little effect on the infinity gems I fear. The blast will fling them to the far distant corners of the heavens intact, so they shall remain a potential future peril. There was insufficient time for dealing with them in a more satisfactory fashion. What about Galactus? He survived your little surprise? That is something I intend to ascertain once I again properly attired. But in the meantime, I suggest you deliver this bauble to Adam Warlock. Its return should restore him to sound health. And then you are free to return to your usual degenerate endeavors. Your services are no longer required. I thank you for your assistance. Devour, do you remain among the living? Barely. Though reduced in strength and size, Galactus endures. My calculation gave you a 60% chance of its survival. Considering the high stakes involved and the fact that you precipitated this crisis, I determined the risk rather acceptable. Only on that I begrudgingly agree with you, Titan. And you will find several suitable uninhabitable worlds nearby to replenish your spent energies, Devourer. Please refrain from approaching any Rigelian planets. I assume prudent foresightness on your part. You have a replacement for the craft and hunger consumed. It is in transit. I would recommend your departing before its arrival. Yes, the gratitude of kings. But I understand my Galactus has been humbled. I will depart, but only I have to have my say. Then speak. Galactus, you truly are a force to be reckoned with within this universe, an intrinsic element of our reality. Few in this realm can challenge your power. You are easily capable of attaining an unilateral basis. What you wish for usually comes to be. But for you, this and there is wisdom to be found amidst this day's chaos. What wisdom? That no matter how awesome the entity, it has a social construct with the rest of the universe. You currently consume without any regard to the effects of your ravaging. The inhabitants of the heavens have little sympathy for this gluttony. The time will come when they will join forces to put an end to this peril of yours. I am to be lectured by one who once slaughtered half the universe merely to impress Lady Death, but my victims did not remain dead. Seeking to rid yourself of your gruesome hunger was the proper thing to do, Galactus. Your error lay in seeking this and without considering the price others would pay for your salvation. I am Galactus. Mine is a manifest destiny. The very fates have declared others must die so that I may live. That is indeed a dubious claim many would challenge. Then what would you have me do, Galactus? Embrace your former icy lover? No. Live, but realize that your monstrous ego almost destroyed you and the universe. Your narrow vision nearly proved your end. You have been given a second chance, Devourer, and there are certain immutable laws in the universe. One is that anything that grows too big eventually collapses in on itself. Continuing on as you have, and a day of reckoning will find you. All things inevitably come to an end, Galactus. As mighty as you are, you cannot stand against an entire universe. Stay your course, and this alliance will come to be. They will be forced to destroy you, Devourer, and know you this, Galactus. On that day, I will stand with your enemies. I have heard your words, Titan, and I will consider them. Now be gone and leave me in peace. Farewell, Devourer. May our next encounter be less acrimonious. Will Galactus generally ponder my advice, or will pounding anger deafening him to any suggestion of alternatives possible? Only time will tell. Hopefully, in his solitude, the right answer will come to be. And we find out hunger barely survived.
Yeah.
He's very diminished now. Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Titan and Thanos. May I come in? Of course. It is good to see that you have recovered from your ordeal, Warlock. Thanks to your efforts, I have also received the gratitude of the people of Rigel. They assure me any debt owed them has been thoroughly discharged, and urge that I carry on with my travels. Strangely enough, there was no mention of any statues being erected in my honor. That will come in time. Besides, Ninja help cost them two rather expensive planets. You also have the look of one moving on. I do. Then you have concluded that Thanos the Titan can venture along his new path in life without Adam Lorlock's supervision? Yes, that was rather presumptuous of me, wasn't it? Yet in truth, I yearn for the companionship of Gamora and Atliza. Without them, I am incomplete. Is Pip around? I wanted to say goodbye and ask for his assistance in returning to the cosmic vortex. The troll has run off to celebrate his great victory over Galactus and Hunger in some unsavory dive. I've already affected a tracker to your person. Once the cretin sobers up, I will dispatch him to hasten your trek. Any excuse to be rid of his incessant chattering. You will be missed, Adam. Such uncharacteristic sentiment. You have changed, Titan, but I am sure our paths will again soon converge. The uncertain and perilous nature of this universe will certainly guarantee that. Your plans? My past life has produced a long list of wrongs I must now right. I believe Titan will be my next stop. That should prove interesting. I wish you success, Thanos. Travel well and safely, my friend. Friend? Yes, I guess that's what we are. Goodbye. And then Pip shows up, wanting to take him out partying. Robot maintenance crew report. Be gentle with your burden, robots. It is organic. Despite his odious nature, Pip is a valuable free agent. Hey, Master, shall we transport your guy to his assigned quarters? No, I have a better idea. Locate the nearest garbage disposal station and deposit him in it. One cannot allow oneself to be carried completely away with doing the right thing, but facetiousness. There must always be limits. Now, before we go, now we'll stop here for a moment. What did you think of all that?
Oh, this is better than the last one.
How was it compared to the first one?
Yeah.
How was it compared to the first one, to Abyss?
The first one is like very, they're very similar.
They are? Yeah, I would say so. That's one of Starlin's strengths when he does it. When he does something really good, it's awesome. What did you think about Hunger throughout all this?
I loved Hunger.
Now, before we go further, I want to show you some bits from the other issues. One of which, Keith Giffen actually took what Starlin had done with Death. And now, originally, Starlin's plan was for him to go to the Titan and find out that his father, Mentor, had died. That never happened, so Mentor lived for a while. But instead, here we see Thanos on this other world, and he turned himself in for a bunch of people to be taken into to this the Church of Power, or whatever it was called. And he's there and everything, and looks around, and I love this. Best behavior, Titan, for all our sakes. Indeed. Breathtaking, isn't it? You came for the view? Now you speak? Now I have something to say. And if I don't want to hear it, exquisite symbolism, Thanos of Titan. We're better to contemplate recreating oneself than the church, the Genesis Cascade, the very edge of the universe. Genesis Cascade. I like that. Very romantic. I no longer serve you, Mistress Death. No, nor have you ever. It is breathtaking. You have something to say it and be done. Don't be like that. What have you ever given me for all I have given you? Think, Titan. What have you ever given me but death? Did it never occur to you that death would be the least of my needs? That I might have desires past my essence? Must you wear that skin? Ah, you find it discomforting to hear this form speak of dark desire? Do I make you uncomfortable? Very. Lesson learned, Thanos of Titan. I am death. I am not of comfort. All that I did in your name. How is that not? You would have made a gift to me, would you not? Not a universe devoid of life. You would have made it a gift to me. To what gain? Without life, there is no death. I no longer serve you, Mistress Death. And back to that. The things you mortals cling to. I am far from mortal. Not to me. I have always loved you, Thanos of Titan, to the extent I am able. Learn how to love me. I am well worth the effort. Good to know. I love that one scene. That was one of my favorite Thanos scenes.
So, like, death can be, like, in many different forms, right?
Yep. But okay, but what do you think about that last bit?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, and it's shown. I love that though. I have always loved you the best I've able. Learn how to love me.
Mm-hmm.
That is great writing.
Girl, if he don't appreciate you. Uh,
So overall, with all three of these books, have you learned how great of a character Thanos truly is when written
oh,
well?
yeah.
Well, how would you describe Thanos? At least this being a post-Infinity Gauntlet Thanos. How would you describe him?
Post-Infinity Gauntlet Thanos.
Because I mean, obviously beforehand, he openly admitted he was all nihilistic and everything. It was afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
when he learned the error of his ways, that he finally, changed. So how would you describe this Thanos?
I think I want to keep it as an opportunist.
Very much an opportunist, yes. Very self-centered, but in a way that's like, I just want to be left alone. But at the same time, he's still driven by this need for power to keep thinking he'll keep people off when deep down, it's just an excuse to still go out and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a guy who's a mystery even to himself. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah. Also, a loner.
Yeah, very much so. Even though he's good with at being friends, but I think the other thing though is that I do feel that the heroes rightfully have a reason to never trust him. Obviously, because even when he's on the side of good, he's still screwing you over.
Yeah. Backhand everything, man.
Exactly. I mean, look what he did with Moondragon, right? Like, don't need you. Bye bye.
Oh, Moondragon. She doesn't deserve this.
Yeah, you liking Moondragon?
Moondragon's cool.
So yeah. So if you were to rank the three books we've gone over, how would you rank it?
This one would be number 1. The one before is number 3, and the one before, the first one we saw was number 2.
Number
What
two.
the heck?
Yeah,
Words.
number 2 was this one, with 1 and 2, was this one and Abyss being very close, right?
Yeah.
The end being pretty significant of a drop, but only the second half of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. When Thanos is really interact, I think the other thing, Thanos needs to interact with people to be good. I think that was the problem with the second half of the end. He was all alone, just talking out loud.
What a loser.
Well, to be fair, he was talking to Adam Warlock. We just didn't realize that until the last issue.
He only talks to Adam Warlock. What a loser.
Oh, by the way, what if you saw him with Adam Warlock? Now you actually got to see a lot about him.
I'm very excited when he pops up in the movies.
I hope James Gunn does him right.
Oh, you're getting tired of his writing now?
No, I'm not getting tired. I just say I hope he does him right and doesn't totally alter the character like he did Drax.
I mean, have you seen his Suicide Squad and how he treats all of the characters? I think the only serious one was like Idris Elba and Ratcatcher.
And Peacemaker to a degree.
To a degree, yes. So he can write a serious character.
Yep. But yeah, until then, we'll see you on the next one. As eventually we'll go into the next trilogy of graphic novels that Jim Starlin had done. And one of which was meant to be his original swan song, but he eventually would do more. And these would eventually lead up to the second graphic novel trilogy, which truly would be his swan song on the character of Thanos. But until then, we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Bye.